Hi, Raylene. I want to talk about this headline: 2025 Lahaina students not enrolled in school. About 2/3 of the 3,001 children who once attended Lahaina's 4 public schools still have not enrolled in other Hawaii public schools or the state's distant learning program. And state officials cannot tell yet exactly how many have left the system for private schools or the mainland, are pausing school, or among the roughly 1,000 Western Maui residents reportedly still missing in the wildfires disaster. As of Monday, only 538 of the Lahaina students had re-enrolled in other Hawaii programs, and 438 signed up for distance learning programs. And then it says FBI and Maui County Police are working through a list of about 1,000 to 1,100 people who are still unaccounted for. They previously said the numbers of missing are around 850. On Wednesday, this was as of Wednesday last week, the official death toll was only 115. And this is dated today. 3 more Maui victims identified. Death toll remains at 115. It's the 28th of August. There's something really fishy going on here. And my friends on the mainland are saying that the Maui news is getting pushed to the bottom of the feeds. They're not really reporting. They've never actually reported the truth of what's going on here. It's my concern that there is so much information out there that is false. It's not being reported. My friends on the mainland are saying that the Maui news is getting buried now in other news stories. Nobody's really paying attention to this, yet we have so many questions that are unanswered. There's potentially thousands of children missing, and the death count is at 115. And I listened to a press conference from last week of the police, of Chief saying pretty much when he was asked what the death count was, he said in about 5 minutes that we don't know and we're not really able to verify anything until we're absolutely sure that we can completely identify the bodies. Does that make any sense? You know, if you have remains, that would count towards the death toll. And I called this at the beginning of the fires when it first happened, that they were going to try to keep these numbers artificially low until the news blew over, so people wouldn't know what really went down here. What the heck went down? You can see reports all over that are starting to surface are being shadow banned, but many people now are reporting that they were barricaded in the city by police, not allowed to leave, and those that did escape, they broke through the barricades and went through. Why isn't anybody asking the chief of police that at a press conference? We want to know why the population was barricaded inside of a city that was burning to the ground and being directed back into the center of the fire. Do you think that people would have just sat on Front Street and not moved and gotten out of the fire as they saw it engulfing the city? Look at the images. The entire street was lined with vehicles, people trapped in like sitting ducks. Next, they didn't follow any safety protocols. You can look up at all the state government sites and see what their protocols are if there is a fire. And they didn't do anything. They didn't pull the alarms. The water was shut off. No one had cell service or electricity. They left the electrical lines on during heavy winds, even when they knew that they were blowing over, as if they were not really concerned about what happened with downed electrical lines in the middle of a windstorm. Then let's not forget that there were 5 fires all at once across the island on different locations: Kula, North Kihei, Lahaina, Makawao. One of my friends shared a picture of a military submarine in the Lahaina harbor the day before this went down, which locals said was an abnormal sight, and the tourist guides have not seen that kind of vehicle there before, or submersible submarine. And then let's not forget that as soon as the fires took out Lahaina, then the police barricades were taken down and the entire city was barricaded and people weren't allowed to come or go for weeks freely. I think it was almost 2 weeks before they finally opened up the roads, and now they're putting up screens so that people can't look at the area. They were trying to keep people out. So much suspicious things going on with this. The kids happen to be out of school that day, and over 2,000 kids are still unaccounted for, yet we're calling a death toll of 115. Where are the kids? Where are the parents reporting about the kids? What is really going on here, and are we ever going to get answers? Or are we just going to push this under the rug and pretend like nothing happened? On top of it, we have locals reporting that FEMA is dumping more donations at the dump and reporting that nowhere in sight is any assistance from government agencies, yet they're taking in billions of dollars supposedly to aid. locals trying to assist held at gunpoint, their deliveries confiscated on boat runs, having to use boats to deliver supplies to people because the roads that were functional were shut down because nobody could get near the city. Why? Please share this. Let's not let this happen again. If we start ignoring this or brush it under the rug, who's to say that this isn't going to happen again? What are we going to do to hold people accountable, to change the system that is obviously extremely broken? It starts with you and me. And so many people have no idea what is really going on here besides what they're seeing on mainstream news. And when we try to report on some of these other news sites that don't have the backing like Fox or CNN, people call it fake news and discount it. But we're the ones on the ground. We're seeing what's going on. Listen to the people. Do a search for this topic, even though it is heavily censored. And please share, like, subscribe, whatever you need to do to get this out. I appreciate you. Thanks for listening.